Hello.
Oh, hey.
Hey.
What's going on?
How you doing?
How you doing?
Oh,
How
these
you doing?
new mics sound so nice.
Fantastic.
It only took us 10 episodes, and we officially have just the nicest mic setup.
It's so good.
Yeah.
If you want to know,
So good.
just go check out our Instagram page. It'll be on there. I posted a pic. I'm pretty proud of what I did here.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah. So if you guys don't like this, well, I don't know what the fuck to tell you because this is the best you're ever gonna get out of him. To be honest with you. So if you don't like it now, go ahead and leave. Anyways, episode 10. We're here.
Episode 10.
We made it.
We are here. We made it here.
It's here.
Yeah, buddy.
10 whole weeks we've been doing this
10
bullshit.
whole fucking
Jesus
weeks.
fucking Christ. That's insane. I want to reflect on it, but it's really only
That's
been
11
10
more
episodes.
weeks than we thought it was gonna last.
That's we didn't think this would go past the conception phase. So
It's been about 8 weeks of pure hatred for the both of you.
Oh,
So.
right.
yeah, awesome, great. I'm glad that we're all on the same page with that. Then, well, I want to start by saying thank you to everyone
Thank you very
that
much.
has supported us up to our 10th episode. We've got a couple people on Patreon that I would like to give a shout out to.
Fuck yeah.
Carmen, Nicole, Sean, Oriana, all four of you. Thank you very much
Thank you.
for the contributions.
Love you very much.
We love you all so much, which also brings me to a little thing
Little thing.
that we've been having going on
Oh, little thing.
for a little week or so.
Yeah.
The little contest for a first of its kind
Bow.
T-shirt. Bam, bam. I mean, that's damn. I'm gonna have to put a sound effect on this thing now just for that. Bam, bam, bam.
Just to cover up our crappy imitations. Yeah.
Just the shitty one. So, are we ready
I
to
think
announce
Should we do a drum roll?
the
Oh,
winner?
please.
And the winner is of the first of its kind What We Learned This Week podcast T-shirt is.
Nicole.
Oh shit! Nicole
Congratulations.
Rogers has won
Hell
the
yeah.
T-shirt. Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool too, because Nicole Rogers, for all of you who don't know, was the first person to ever join our Patreon, actually, too. So
Yeah, she's
that was
been a
pretty
trooper,
fucking
man.
cool. She's commented on all kinds of stuff. She's been super interactive with everything. So it's been that's really cool that she won that. That's awesome. And
Oh, yeah.
just so everyone knows, we did use a random name picker. So it just was a random selection of names. Not that there was a whole lot to choose from. That's
But
a
even
little
so,
chunk.
it was
Good
even
little
so.
chunk.
Yeah,
little
yeah,
chunk.
nice chunk.
So yeah, awesome. So Nicole, we will be in touch, and we will get your shirt size, and then we will get the shirt ordered for you. Other than that, I think we'll run another contest here sometime in the next
Couple weeks or so.
couple
Yeah.
weeks, good
Yeah.
month or
Yeah, I think
so.
it'll be
We'll
fun.
see. Got to find something else to give away, maybe. I don't know. Maybe we'll partner with somebody else. Who knows?
Like a brand new car.
Look under your seats.
Oh God.
There's a
I'm
brand
gonna
new
need
car.
your credit card.
Oh God.
Prerequisites required.
For the low price of your social security number.
For the low price.
And mother's maiden name.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Anyways, so this episode, we said it. We said we were gonna do it. Here we are. Conspiracy theories.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh damn. So just for all of our listeners, if any of us winds up dead, none of us here are suicidal. So
Speak for yourself. Just kidding. Not really. All right. I'm sorry, Mom.
nope, none of us are suicidal. So if we wind up dead, it's because of the things we talked about on this show were dead on. So get it, dead on.
Dead on.
Wait, who are you?
You sound like a transition from like a Seinfeld episode.
I sound like
all
a
the bass.
transvestite? You just call me a transvestite?
No, like how you change like the scenes from the Seinfeld episode, and you have like the weird bass
Well,
music
yeah,
going
it's
on.
That's where most of my influence in life comes from.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that's going to be our new intro. We're just going to record our voices making weird noises.
It's
Yes,
like
I'm into it.
what was that? Rob Dyrdek did the cover of that one song. If we could do like a vocal cover of those like in betweens.
Oh my
and
God.
Just get like a solid riff in the
Dude,
background.
I'm all about it.
Yeah.
I'm all about it. Oh, shit. Anyways, conspiracy theories.
Dude.
Oh, wah, 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 wah. Who wants to start? Who's got a good one? Who's got a good one? Who's got a good one? Go.
All right, I'll start off. I got,
All right, Drake,
got
what
a
you
pretty
got?
tasty one.
What you got for us, son?
If I
Pretty
can bring
tasty.
this up.
Ooh, it's tasty.
Ooh,
Let's
pretty tasty.
see here. So it was actually something that I'd read up a while back, and immediately when we were talking about about doing the conspiracy theory episode, I wanted to touch base on it. It's called Project Sunshine.
What the fuck is Project
So
Sunshine?
Project Sunshine was a theory that actually got proven correct, which
Oh,
is
I love those
kind of
ones.
terrifying. It's not exactly what the theory was initially, but it was still along the same lines. So in the wake of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the U.S. government commenced a major study on the measurements of effects of nuclear fallout
Okay.
and like the human body and everything. And the conspiracy was that the government was stealing dead bodies for radioactivity testing.
Like from like the bomb? Like
Yeah,
from the
from
areas?
from the areas, from local towns to everything. Like they were
Alright,
sending
cool.
people in to steal bodies and shit. And it turns out the government was stealing body parts. Like they have documentation of it of everything. But they went in and they were stealing body parts because they needed young tissue. So they were taking children who had passed away because of the radiation sickness and everything else, and like taking tissue samples and having them shipped back over. And they had a whole list of people that were under their employment.
So they just had like a secret cooperative like operation.
Well, I don't think it was secret because the information came out. I think it was like up to
Oh, so
yeah.
they
There
were
was
just stealing them. They were just
they were-
walking into that country.
well,
and
they-
going,
they
fuck
had-
you, we
they had a
bombed you.
bunch
Now
of-
we're taking your kids.
well, it was I can't say like relief effort, but they had
Was
a
it all
bunch of
dead
contracts.
kids?
Yes, it was dead children. They weren't like stealing kids and like chopping their bodies. But
Hey, you're
I
not going to
think-
miss this kid, right?
Hey, you need this one? You got 7 more.
You got a bunch
You
of
got
these
like
things.
10 more hiding in the background. Do you mind if we just take one?
You still got like 10 good years. You
Here.
don't need this one.
I know this.
Yeah.
I know this is going to cause a lot of rift, but which one's your least favorite? Kids, close
Yeah,
your
I know.
eyes and ears.
Go into
just
the other
point.
room.
You just point.
I'm gonna give you a list of all your children. you,
Do you need a list? Is it that big?
hey man, I don't know. Pop
Yo.
them out.
You need a fucking grid.
Them
But,
Japanese people fuck.
they
You don't know,
fuck.
man. They fuck.
But yeah, in total, there was just over, I think it was like 2 or 3, over 1,500 grieving families that were contacted for tissue.
Holy shit.
Yeah. About like retrieving
I
body
mean, is that
parts and
really a
tissue samples.
conspiracy though? I mean, it's like, so
But
what?
I mean,
They
at,
took
at
some
the
dead
time,
people.
well, at the time, I mean, like, could you imagine? This is like
Right
maybe
after.
like this is just post of that
Right.
whole fucking thing happening, and to want to get the testing like that, like people were going crazy.
Right.
And it wasn't until years later where it actually was found out to be true. But this conspiracy was floating around for a super long time. I
What else are
thought
those
that was
kids gonna
fascinating.
Well, I
provide
wonder-
to the world?
I wonder, like, if people are still
They're
doing
dead.
stuff like that.
Jesus
nowadays.
Christ.
I wonder if they're actually doing that same kind of research nowadays, like with that same
What if they're just-
process.
what if
they're
the-
just way sneakier about it because they
what
don't
if
want people
the-
to find out.
Right.
What was that? What was that nuclear plant? Fukushima? Was that what that was?
Fukushima.
Was that the plant in Japan that the meltdown?
Oh,
Is that right?
Was that Fukushima? Jamie, look that up.
J-
Jamie. Walker's our personal Jamie for the show.
Yeah, it is Fukushima.
Fukushima, yeah. Like that meltdown on the plant.
When did that happen? That was
When-
back.
That was 2008?
was that 2008?
2011.
11. Wow.
I was gonna say because I
So
remember
you are,
seeing those videos
wrong.
and stuff.
I was way wrong.
Because there was a
That's why-
couple of
that's why we
videos
got
from
a
like
Jamie.
the skyscrapers
Skyscrapers.
near there when you can see that fucking explosion go
Yeah.
off.
Oh,
you think they
Jesus.
took kids from there?
Why would kids be in that fucking plant?
They probably
No,
run
your
away.
child
it was
to
fallout.
birthday?
It was fallout around the entire area.
Well-
it wasn't just the plant.
Dude, those-
there was
No,
fucking
absolutely,
tons
but-
of towns right there.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I'm
man.
not saying
sure,
that.
I'm
Well,
sure
you
there
don't know.
was
Japan,
testing.
they might have had.
Dude, those
kids
Japanese
working
children
in
are
the plant.
way smarter than we are. They're probably running that plant.
Oh, fuck
so,
yeah.
I mean,
Probably
just
are.
saying.
But yeah, I'm
Maths.
sure there was testing and stuff for like soil and.
I
you
mean,
know.
if I was Japan, I'd have been doing the testing myself. I was like, yeah, you're right. This is
Well,
good-
that's
good
another
news to
part of it
have.
too. Is like I don't understand why the U.S. had to go back and retrieve tissue
I
samples.
don't
when
understand
you
how.
think that local,
Here's my thing: how did the U.S. government have the balls to be like, hey,
When
we,
the fuck have we ever cared
hey,
about
we just,
anything?
I know we just bombed your country with the biggest bomb that
But we're
has
gonna
ever
take your
been
dead
created.
babies.
But do you mind if we just snag a couple of them deadies?
We're not gonna give them back. We're just gonna take some tissue.
Nuts.
I'm looking up aftermath photos of the Fukushima disaster, and this shit is
Nasty shit,
messed
right?
Up.
Oh, it's
yeah.
fucked up. It
Damn.
was a big one. That's
Yeah.
why they say you still shouldn't eat. What was that, salmon? Like on the east coast or the west coast, you shouldn't eat the salmon
Really?
because they say they're still like high I don't know, radioactive. Like they've tested the fish and
Right.
they said you can eat it. You just have to. It's like once a month or something like that. Is what you should limit
shit.
yourself to. Yeah.
That's pretty
They
crazy.
said because they still have like radioactive properties because they're still flowing.
What I think is amazing is how the world kind of reacts naturally to radiation or like devastation like that, like wildlife and the foliage and stuff like that. Like think about
sunflowers
Chernobyl.
and such. You ever
Oh,
hear
yeah.
about the sunflowers, how they absorb and kind of like reprocess radiation?
Which
It's
is crazy
crazy.
because where was radiation coming from?
Yeah.
That type of radiation,
Oh.
where was it coming from before?
Well, think of it. I mean,
mankind?
look at what the ozone.
Yeah.
The ozone just formed like how many thousands or I guess
Yeah.
probably
So
a
you
long
had
time
the
ago,
sun.
but
They
still,
had
like,
the radiation from like
it's
solar
directly
radiation.
from the sun. You know,
Yeah.
there's all sorts of radiation coming back in the
Yeah.
day, but it's
I
like
guess that's true.
plants have had millions of years to kind of adapt to it. So that's kind of like what they do.
The
That's what
Earth
they
is
do best.
crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it is.
But like even now, like wildlife and stuff like that in Chernobyl, like there's generations of, I think it's what, like fucking probably like 15, 20 generations later of the wolves that they're still like checking in on and
Oh,
hunting
yeah.
and stuff from. They're just
They're
wild
hybrid now.
wolves, yeah.
They're hybrid dogs and wolves.
Yeah.
That's what kind of blows my mind, though. Like going back to the plant stuff, it's like, why don't we focus more of our technological advances on botany and like
Oh, dear
biology?
God.
Like the world
Yeah,
has been.
If it's able to adapt, why
yeah,
are we
like,
not using?
Yeah.
why have we not like been focusing more attention on like botany and like,
Like,
how,
why
like,
can't
the
we
biology
take
of
stem
plants and
cells
such?
from a dandelion?
I mean, they're trying to build solar powered. What's it called? Like photosynthesis powered.
Yeah, the
solar
eco-
panels.
the
and
eco
shit.
panels,
Yeah.
yeah.
See, that's
Which
crazy.
that right there would solve so many damn issues.
Oh my god, yeah.
They'll
Oh my
never
Like,
god.
why isn't there more funding towards
Like
that?
there was a prototype for a fully what's the term? It was a fully like natural resupplying building. So all the electricity, all the water, everything else was all internalized.
You mean it was a carbon neutral?
Carbon neutral
Building?
and it was an apartment complex, and it was supposed to be, I think it was in Japan.
Of course it
maybe?
was.
But it was like a really cool architectural masterpiece when they first brought this project up, and I couldn't tell you if they were still working on it or not. But that was literally one of the things that they were talking about, is they had like a hanging garden, and that in itself they were planned to capture the energy that was put off by all the plants and stuff, because it was really like a giant.
What energy is getting put off?
I
by
don't
the
know.
plant?
I don't know, but that was like
How
part
do
of
you
the
capture
process.
it?
But like the
You know,
solar panels.
How do you
and-
capture the energy of photosynthesis? That's what?
See, all right, listen to this article here. It says scientists at UC Berkeley, they taught bacteria how to cover their own bodies with nanocrystals, which function as tiny solar panels that capture more energy than plants can. That is the most
the
awesome
fuck?
sentence
You
I've
just
ever
mixed.
read.
You just
That is-
mixed
yeah.
botany with nanotechnology.
It's called cyborg bacteria.
That's
that
fucking
is the coolest
insane.
shit ever.
Skynet.
That's fucking Skynet.
That is so cool.
Yo, I'm looking more into that.
Man,
What is it called again?
Cyborg bacteria
Cyborg back. That's fucking awesome.
covered in nanocrystals.
Nanocrystals, but they taught the bacteria to form these nanocrystals.
Yeah, which is fucking.
That's insane.
Taught is.
Well, they cover their own bodies in nanocrystals. I don't know if they form them. But,
Oh, okay.
So, but you're still utilizing that to absorb some sort of
Right.
radiation and turn that into.
Did they teach
That's-
the
that's
nano
insane.
crystals how to do it, or they teach
I-
the
I
bacteria?
do not. I don't. go to
What's the
Berkeley,
definition of a
so-
nanocrystal?
That's a
What
good
the fuck
question.
is a nano?
Is it
crystal?
is it an
that the
organic?
little-
It's like a really small
no.
rock.
Nano would, nano would mean,
Microscopic pebbles.
wouldn't nano? Wouldn't it be like?
Well, you think artificial?
Yeah, you'd think.
Jamie, look that up.
Jamie, can you look up what nanocrystals are? The fuck is it?
Nanocrystals. A nanocrystal is a material particle having at least one dimension smaller than 100 nanometers. So it's a really small rock.
So it's literally just That's
It's like a molecular sized fucking.
So is it a
crystal.
naturally occurring?
well, these ones can't be because they're using them for solar energy. So how the fuck would it be? I mean, maybe they're.
You
naturally
can
occurring.
apparently they are formed in nature at some point, but you can also synthesize them.
How the
Okay.
fuck
Yeah.
do we harness that energy? How do we just go like, these things now have rock. This fucking bacteria is now covered in rocks. I bet you that makes some good energy.
Well, I'm
from
sure
the
on a
sun.
larger scale they'd
Well,
actually.
yeah,
be
I
able to
know.
measure it.
Obviously, it's a giant mass group.
Right,
of them,
right.
But who thought of like, there's energy coming from that? I'm gonna take
Nature
it.
did actually. So
Yeah, but how did we harness it? Is what I'm saying. Like, who's the person that was like, we could use that?
really small rocks.
I don't know, but I'd
Fucking
like
crazy.
to shake his hand because that's some innovation that we haven't had prior.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So-
crazy.
because that's what it takes, man.
Science
Especially
is
with
crazy.
with scientific expansion, it takes those weird fucking kooky ideas. Because like you said, this guy was just like sitting in an office somewhere, or like in his house, pacing. Fucking 6 pots of coffee later, probably slapped out of his mind an Ambien.
Well,
and,
no,
like,
I imagine he was already working on some sort of I feel like most like scientific breakthroughs occur on accident. So he's probably working on
Right.
some sort of like, who knows, some sort of bullshit botany stuff. Not bullshit, but some sort
bullshit.
of, you know. And then he's like noticed like, holy fuck, these things are like harnessing energy or some shit. And he's like, oh, we're using that now.
That's pretty tough.
I would like to put a disclaimer in this episode as well. Most of the time, we have no idea what the fuck we're talking about.
Speak for yourself.
I mean,
But yeah,
we do, but most of it is a rant. So like,
Yeah.
the COD crisis is real. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
COD
Fucking
crisis is
COD
fucking
crisis.
real.
Dude, I ended up looking up a lot
It's
of that
fucking
stuff
real.
after we talked about it.
Hashtag COD crisis
Yeah.
is fucking real. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah.
But like some of that other stuff from the previous episode, it's probably just bullshit. I don't know. You can look it up for yourself, but don't hold us accountable for anything we say on the
more than
show.
happy to learn new things. If I say anything that is completely off
You go
off
ahead.
kilter for something like that,
go
just
ahead
let
and
me know.
throw it on the episode or throw it on a comment.
Yeah, I'm more than
Jake's
happy
gonna get
to-
murdered by some cod farmers out there.
Some
so.
cod
Yo,
fishermen.
it's not the COD farmers that are gonna kill me. It's the COD fishermen. that are
Yeah,
gonna
I
kill
know.
me.
I guess
That's-
I'm sure there are cod farms though.
Well, yeah, I'm sure that, but oh god, no. That's why you're not supposed to eat tilapia, right?
Really?
Tilapia
Actually, I heard
is
about the
not
tilapia.
not a fish that is found in nature.
Really?
It's strictly a farm. It's farmed,
Oh, I had no idea.
and
to be
it
honest.
has like basically no nutritional benefits to it.
Tastes delicious.
Really? I'm not a huge tilapia
Oh
fan.
man, I love tilapia.
No,
I'll eat that shit all
I'd
day.
eat.
I'm a salmon guy.
Yeah,
I mean, I lo-
salmon-
yeah, I mean,
smoked
I love
salmon.
other
Oh
fish, like
fuck,
smoked salmon, you can't beat
smoked
that,
salmon is
so.
amazing.
But yeah, I don't mind an occasional tilapia.
I haven't eaten it in years,
Well, you're wrong.
unless
so.
the cod is being replaced with tilapia. You never know.
Oh God, tilapia conspiracy.
Tilapia. Hashtag tilapia cods.
Oh my
shit.
God.
So Walker,
Yeah,
do
yeah.
you got?
Okay, so mine is more of like a thought, like something that I kind of came up with in my head that I think is completely real.
even better.
So I think that you guys are familiar with MK Ultra.
Yep.
The
Yes.
whole CIA planned LSD trip
Yeah.
thing that people were doing back in the 60s and 70s. I think that they utilized that for research as to how to control the human mind, and they utilize that research nowadays to implement into media use. So,
It's like, what do you call that? What the fuck is that called when they put it in like commercial subliminal messaging?
kind of, yeah. So imagine it this way. So they back when they were utilizing LSD for these experiments, what that does is it actually naturally wears down your brain. Like it just like you can't function as well. You become susceptible to imagery and to ideas that these people are portraying to you. And so I figured that maybe they're utilizing the research that they created from wearing down people's mental state through drugs. They're just doing it through a different medium. So now they're utilizing that same technology and such through the LSD, but they're
So-
utilizing it through like television.
So you think they've
and
been able
such.
to manipulate?
Yeah,
the
kind of
human-
control the masses by utilizing the effects of like wearing down people through negative media or through oversaturation of like all these different.
That one
mediums
makes a
and
lot of
such.
sense,
So, like,
and I don't even think that's a conspiracy. I think that's
Well-
just probably true.
well, imagine
Let's
this: like
be
back
honest.
back in the day, you didn't have 24-hour news cycles and such like that.
Yeah.
You know, it was just like you get the news the next morning and it
Right.
goes until what, like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, maybe midnight. And now we have just this constant flow of negative news, and it's wearing people down to the point where we become just kind of like tired of it. You know, we're so numb to like seeing all this negative state that we're just
yeah.
used to it, and we just accept it.
Get desensitized.
So we have become desensitized to the masses of
And you think it's a way for them to
negative
control
things.
the population?
Yeah, of course. I mean, like,
So what about us that aren't controlled, or are we?
I think everybody's kind of controlled to a certain
Yeah,
degree,
you think
but
so?
the thing
Yeah.
is, nobody knows how to break the cycle because it's all government ran at that point.
Maybe the way to break the cycle is LSD.
Ooh.
just transcend into a
Maybe
different
that's what they
plane.
figured out. Maybe it's the exact opposite of what you think. Maybe they were
Maybe.
trying to figure out. Maybe they were trying to figure out like how to control or
Yeah.
manipulate the human mind, and then they started with the LSD and started to realize that people were less susceptible on LSD, and they were like, "Fuck, we need to shut this shit down now." And
See,
that's why they made LSD.
But there's still
illegal.
LSD today. If that would have been the case, they would have stopped. They would have made LSD way more hard to obtain at this point.
Well, I mean-
you know, they would have focused so much more
try
attention on
that with
closing it down.
a lot of different shit.
Yeah, but LSD it's lab synthesized.
Yeah,
have
you
to,
can't.
have to
Right,
it's
create
not
it,
created in
you know?
nature. True.
So that means they have the resources to go out there and make LSD still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are still making it. So it's like, if they didn't want people to use it, they would stop selling the
So
materials.
all
that
these
it
people
takes
that
to make
think
it.
they're freeing
Yeah.
their mind on LSD are really just
Yeah.
inhibiting
Well,
their own
I mean,
ability
LSD
to
is
think for themselves.
it's something that was created by scientists,
Yeah.
and that was
Yeah.
funded by a government lab, and they were trying to figure out how they can utilize that to tame the population or to control people
Why
into
not
giving
just
them
make it
information.
legal or make it a
Yeah.
pill then, like
Well,
Adderall?
who was it that's trying to pass for medical use of LSD? Was that
Ooh, I'm not
California.
California? I'm
Really?
pretty sure it was
I
California.
think Colorado or California just passed mushroom use.
Yeah.
sure. Is that
for
right?
Medicinal mushroom use. I
Yeah,
think.
because
Yeah.
there's been I've seen a couple like mini docs about microdosing.
Microdosing on LSD.
Really? I
Yeah,
had
it's
no
supposed
clue.
to. It's supposed to help like PTSD patients and stuff like that.
Okay.
Same with I don't know.
Psychoactives like mushrooms
Yeah,
and stuff like
psilocybin or whatever. However you say the
Psilocybin.
psilocybin. Yeah.
But so kind of going back into this though, it's like I think they were using the drugs to speed up the process to show this is what we can accomplish and this is the information we can get out when the brain is extremely exhausted, and like when this person has no more inhibitions left, we can utilize our techniques to get information out of these people or to control them how we want them to act. And so now they just do it long term by utilizing oversaturation and overuse of the media and through social interaction.
Oh no, I definitely that all sounds tangible. As
Yeah,
fuck.
that sounds like it's actually happening.
Well, because
Yeah.
I mean,
Now
like,
I don't even want to watch TV ever again, or listen to radio, or
Well, I mean-
fucking throw my phone away.
Think about how we just escape. Like now everything's based around escapism. So like we
Right.
want to try to
Yeah.
escape social interactions and face to face. It's all just behind screens and such. And why is that? Being around people is exhausting, and we don't have any more energy left.
I
So
fucking hate people.
it means that
Yeah.
we're already to the
And
point.
yet here we are.
Yeah,
Just
My
sitting
blood's
with-
boiling.
we're already
Sit
to
you
the
two
point where
fucking assholes.
fucking close.
You come any closer, I fucking cut you.
well, we're already to the point where we're done.
Oh, yeah.
It's we've conformed to the masses, and now we
Yeah.
just are here for the ride.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of fed into one of the conspiracies recently. I cracked and bought an Alexa Echo.
Oh yeah.
So the government's 100% listening on all of my
that's
conversations
cool,
that
man.
occur.
That's all right.
They're probably watching me in my house as I do
Whack the
things
gag.
around the house, watching me cook food and take a bath and other things.
You bring your Alexa with you in the
Yeah.
bathtub?
I am a lonely man.
It's all right, man.
Just kidding.
It's okay.
Just
Alexa,
kidding.
tell me I'm
But
pretty.
you know what?
Compliment me.
I mean,
Alexa's like,
I'm sorry, Josh.
Well, to be honest, though, I'm willing to give up a little bit of privacy so that I can automatically turn my lights out in the
That
morning
is,
to an
I'll
alarm.
admit, dude, that is so fucking cool that you
Isn't
can do
that
that.
the coolest
That is,
shit
that's
ever?
fucking amazing.
Oh,
and
it's so awesome.
don't you have like a little morning routine?
Yeah,
set
it
up
does.
too?
It does so. It says the weather.
Oh, yeah?
It says good morning, Jake. It says a random fact of the day or like a tip or something, some fun fact of the day, and then it like says my news briefing, and then it turns my light on and plays a little music.
See, I wonder if I can program the one that's like in the living room or like on the
Yeah.
island to be like. I wish it was like sound sensitive too, like it would pick up on your specific like walking pattern or something, like
Oh,
really
shit.
in depth. So
That
like,
would be
it
in
would
depth-
know
in
who
depth.
it is talking or like walking into a room, be like, "Oh, good morning, Drake. How's your hammer hanging?"
How's your hammer hanging? That would be so fucking wild.
We're just like goofy shit like that.
Jeez. But yeah, I mean, that makes sense. The LSD thing, it makes a lot
Oh,
of
absolutely.
sense.
yeah,
Absolutely.
I can
Totally
back
get
that. Because I don't know, like I'm sure that they probably already had theories about what it's like when you wear somebody down mentally.
Yeah.
They just needed to speed up the process.
Well,
that's the only
that's
reason
like-
that they claim
Used
to only
LSD.
utilize
Yeah.
LSD.
Well, I mean, it's like
So-
Stockholm syndrome. I mean, that is a mental state that happens when put under stress, like immense amount of stress on someone's brain in a high octane moment. I mean, it's been documented time and time again. Especially what is it? The cliche is that like bank robbers. There's always that one patron that's like, "Oh, but these guys are cool." Like they're somehow convinced in the mass. I mean, there's always a monologue and shit like that where they're
Oh,
talking to
right.
the crowds, but I'm sure it's
I
overplayed
don't
on
think
that,
that
aspect.
happens every time.
No, but like
Maybe
that's
more in movies.
that's what I'm saying is like they publicize that Stockholm syndrome, like that it's just mental pressure
Right.
to where it cracks and you start to relate with someone that you're being held by or you're captive, and it's a pretty interesting thing. It's almost like like brainwashing,
Yeah.
pretty much. I mean, there's been what was it? I think there was like 2 or 3 accounts of like POWs that would come out of the experience. I mean, like, obviously I have zero context to how their experience actually was while in captivity, but they come out like, oh yeah, super fucking nice guys, like super sweet shit, which I get on a soldier to soldier aspect because they're just doing their fucking job, you know. And there's also been a lot of documentation, especially with like World War II and shit, and like the trenches. Like there was they made a movie about that where it was like the both sides was like there was like a ceasefire or something like that before progression to take up the next trench, and nobody was fighting, nobody's doing anything else, and it was like a holiday or something. Like there was a reason why nobody was doing anything,
Right.
and like they stopped, kind of got up, like clanked cups, you know, like oh, you know, whatever, and then went back to their sides, and then a couple hours later they're shooting at each other. But
That's pretty crazy, right?
Right?
It's just,
because like I don't know, but that in itself can be a whole fucking conversation of like you're just a dude doing what you're being paid to do, you know?
yeah, just going out there and doing your job.
Yeah, like
know?
you don't need to kill anyone. You don't want to kill anyone. You're not. Well, some people aren't joining to kill people, but you're doing what your country needs you to do. So in that
still
regard,
really
like
I mean, that's fucking crazy.
it is fucking wild,
nuts.
dude. Because it's commonplace. I mean, they're doing what you're doing. That's the only thing that connects you. You know, you don't know that guy personally. If you're looking at him down the sights, you don't
Right.
fucking know that guy's name. You don't know his family. You don't know how many kids he has. But from your end, you're doing exactly what he's doing. You know, and that commonplace can bring people together even in the worst, you know, scenarios.
Fucking weird.
Yeah, dude.
So I got one. I got a couple, but one of them I got for you guys is. Which one should I start with? I'll start. Okay, so there's like this theory that a lot of what you see in like mainstream Hollywood movies, like say sci-fi movies and stuff like that,
Oh shit.
is not that far off from what is currently being tested in the world or what has already happened.
Okay.
Like to where they'll show these things, like they'll show these, say an alien movie, First Contact or whatever.
Right.
That was like a way of Hollywood or the government to present through Hollywood, like, hey, we've done Roswell
this.
was the thing,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, there's like a bunch of different fan theories of like they've nitpicked a bunch of different movies of like, yeah, this shit actually happened. Like this got released. How many years later after that movie came out, all of a sudden people were like, oh my god, that actually did happen.
Oh yeah.
So like, or like, what's that other one? God damn it, what is the name of that movie?
Circles.
No, I'll have to. It's like a super futuristic movie, action movie.
Logan's Run.
No, God.
Blade Runner?
No,
Ooh.
it's Colin Farrell, I think, isn't it?
Oh,
That's gonna annoy me. I'll have to come back to
yeah.
it. But
he didn't say
in the
much.
movie, that it's so basically they're saying like it's the way to present the real things that are happening in the world
Okay.
to the masses without them freaking out, so that they can see how they react to it, so then they can actually release it.
No one
later
showing
on.
like how they're gonna.
So like the movie that I'm talking about, they showed a bunch of like TVs with touch. This was a way back. Like they were showing TVs with touch screens, and they were
Right.
showing like TVs that were glass, basically, that you could look through, and all this crazy shit. Now here we are. How many years later? This is all a real thing that's like normal to us.
Oh, yeah.
Because they desensitized us to it in the movie. So now here it actually is.
Okay.
And the name of the movie's right on the tip of my fucking tongue.
I
I'll
wonder
have to
how
look it up.
disappointed the era of like Star Trek guys are for like those flip open like
Oh yeah, how that was like.
communicators. Yeah.
Now it's just antiquated.
Yeah, and like they actually get their hands on it and it's like what this is a
This is
fucking
it?
joke.
This is fucking it?
flip phone.
Yeah, that's all you're
My
getting.
razor was better than this.
Right.
No, Minority Report.
Minority.
Oh,
Minority
yeah, I haven't
Report,
seen the
where
movie in
he's
so
like he's
long.
like a cop or whatever, and they can see like people that are committing crimes, and they can like backtrack.
That was an interesting movie.
It came
I
out in
liked that one.
2002, and they were showing touchscreen stuff. They were showing fucking see-through TVs. Like, how do you know about? How can you even process that kind of technology
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that
without
like,
it already being in
it's-
the works?
It's easy to come up with like an idea for tech, but I think people see that kind of stuff in the media, like in movies and old videos and such, and they actually utilize that to form new ideas for technology that are actually viable.
Oh yeah.
So like, I mean, the people that came up with the flip phone probably saw that thing from Star Trek and were like, "Oh, hey, we could totally build something like that. Let's do it."
Yeah.
And that's what they did.
Probably.
So I feel like media kind of originates the ideas, and then humans as themselves process that to kind of match their
Yeah,
ideal
that makes
perception.
sense.
in a direction
I think
for
it's super
technology.
funny that I came up with Colin Farrell for Minority Report, even though Tom Cruise played the.
Is it
main
Tom
character.
Cruise?
Was that Tom
Well,
Cruise?
no, Colin Farrell's in it.
Well, it's been a super
But-
long time.
But
Yeah,
since-
it's-
Tom
it's
Cruise
been
is like
years
the
since I've
main
seen that
character.
movie,
so.
so.
I was like, why is Colin Farrell the first one that came to mind when fucking Tom Cruise was the lead of that movie?
So here's kind of a niche movie that I would love to see some of the technology in it implemented.
All right.
Because I think one of them, it was actually a weapon. It was like a superheated wire that you could pull from like a ring or like a belt loop,
Okay.
and it was just a red hot piece of wire pretty much. It would just like sear through shit. But the technology that I would love to see come through are head jacks. So it's an internalized storage unit, like an external for like a computer or something, but like in the back of your head, and you just like chip in. So it's like
hell
Google
no.
Glasses.
Hell no.
I think I'm good on that
You'll
one.
never
I
never
would-
catch me doing some
I would,
shit like
I
that.
would love for something like that to
For
actually
real?
Jack
Yo,
in the Matrix.
you're gonna fuck.
Like,
Yeah.
well,
you're-
not like the jacking in, but like
Right.
to have that storage space, or like to be able to Johnny Mnemonic moving information and stuff like that, like corporate espionage.
Bro,
would
you're
a
gonna
huge
be the
thing for it.
first person to get taken over by the government, and turned into one of their slaves.
Well, it's not like a full system override. It's just an external unit.
Right.
But who's to say that it?
Somebody
can't
get Drake
become
some
a full
LSD.
system? Yeah, Drake needs to get on that LSD, son. Who's to say it
But-
doesn't go full on?
I'm sure
anyway?
at some level somebody
Or
will
like
be like,
people-
well, we can do this to control people.
When is microchipping is going to become a real thing? Like people getting implanted with.
I think that
microchips
people have
and
already
shit?
kind of started doing
Yeah.
that.
Is it real or are those
Yeah.
just fake reports?
Well, I mean,
Well,
think of-
microchipping is kind of antiquated nowadays because you don't really
Yeah.
need like a chip anymore. Stuff can,
Yeah.
you can have like a small implant like in one of your organs and have it ran off the cloud or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Like,
Isn't
you
that
know,
weird?
yeah.
That's another thing. The cloud.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. It's
Well, 'cause
really
I could-
cool, but sketchy. And
Yeah.
5G.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, 5G scares me a little bit.
I haven't
Why-
done too much research
don't
on
really
5G to be
know.
honest, but
I'm just
It's-
not too
it's
sure about
gross.
it. Don't know why. I don't know. It's just weird to me. It's weird, you know. Everybody was cool with 4G, but then 5G comes along and everybody's like,
Wait a minute.
hold on a second. I'm not sure about that one.
Yeah.
But
so what's really the difference between 4G and 5G?
apparently it's faster.
Okay, well then why is that so scary?
It's lower well, they're saying that it operates at a different. I believe the theory is that it operates at a different frequency that can be harmful to the brain.
Yeah. So the
Oh.
emission that comes from those
Yeah.
signals.
It's almost like radiation.
Oh, that's not good. So
That's-
is it like ionizing radiation where it can like do some damage to your cells? and
That's-
shit,
I've
or-
heard it's like sticking your head in a microwave.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah,
Gotta
something
love that.
like
But
Like
prolonged.
people, they were saying that like
as long as you don't
people.
live underneath a tower, you're
Yeah,
all
there's
right
like
for a couple
reports.
years.
There's reports of people that like who have 5G towers by their house that have reported like nausea and
Yeah.
all kinds of shit like
fuck,
that.
that's not good.
And I don't know, maybe it's a fake. Could be, there's a lot of bullshit placebo effects happening out
Oh,
there in
God,
the world.
yeah.
So who knows? But
I have like a limited data plan, so I'm just used to using Wi-Fi and such, which I know I think Wi-Fi runs off of like radio signals.
yeah, but the
Yeah.
but the
But,
5G towers are still going to be around.
I know, but like
They're
that-
just emitting out in the open.
that's what I'm saying. Like I'm so used to like having like those low frequency devices and such. I feel like I'm gonna be super susceptible to
yeah,
5G.
you're gonna get
I'm
fucked
gonna
up.
get bugged.
Yeah.
So
What
Well,
if we just walked outside? Yo, this is the scariest thing I think to me. If you just walked outside and all of a sudden people just started just done, falling on the ground, dead, and you're just like standing there. What the fuck is going
Go
on?
back inside.
Yeah, right. Is it the mist? What the fuck's going on here?
Oh, yeah,
oh
the-
man, the Mist was
The mist.
that movie's good.
Was
The
it what we
movie-
talked about at the
But
last
what about
one?
the fucking TV
The
show?
Happening?
I haven't seen the TV show version, but I saw the
God,
movie.
The Happening.
Yeah.
That one was
Just
fucking
killing
crazy.
themselves and shit.
Crazy
Holy
bad
shit.
acting.
Dude, oh my god, yeah.
I mean, it was
Great-
really,
great cast,
I don't understand
but-
why people didn't like The Happening. I was
Have you
kind
watched
of
it recently,
yeah.
man?
I mean, not recently, but
I mean, the
It
premise
does
is
not-
cool, but
yeah.
like the acting.
Oh,
It
is
really?
doesn't
Was it that
horrible.
bad?
It's so bad.
Yeah,
man.
it's rough.
There's like
Really?
compilations of the happening, just showing like awkward fucking scenes.
oh, I gotta
It's so
rewatch
bad.
it then. I
It's-
think
it's-
because I
it's
thought it
pretty
was
gross.
I thought it was a good.
I
movie
mean,
at
like
the
I said,
time.
it's an interesting premise, and
Yeah.
I thought
Who the
that
fuck's the lead in that one?
Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg, yeah, and Zoe Deschanel.
And
That's
then
probably why I liked it.
who's that one dude? He's like the best friend. He's got the Jeep. I can't remember his name.
Oh,
He's a really well-known actor.
yeah,
he's been in the scene for
he's
fucking
he's
super
Sid
long.
in Ice Age. That's
Yeah.
him.
Oh,
I'm gonna look him up right
Yeah,
now.
I got you covered.
yeah, I don't. Yeah, Jamie, look that up. Who's in that?
Got my little MacBook.
You got another conspiracy theory there?
Yeah, it actually kind of leans on technology.
Okay, cool.
Well, I got two for technology, but this one's kind of my.
Listen up, Black Mirror.
Black Mirror.
Oh yeah. All right, so I'll do the non-lax one. Save the best one for last. So as of right now, people are believing that social media outlets like, well, I mean, it's been proven that
Like
Facebook, Twitter, that kind of stuff has been really monetizing a lot of their content. And the conspiracy theory is that they're really leaning on cutting out the rights perspective on a lot of like media and exposure with stuff.
They're playing as a filter, a filter for media.
And the biggest one,
Facebook's been caught already.
Oh yeah,
doing it.
oh yeah. And so that's really starting to come to light. And one of the things that actually had caught my attention was Pinterest, because I used to look up like little like designs and stuff, or like alterations for like tattoo ideas.
Okay.
And one of the things is with the newest update from Pinterest, I don't know if they've actually engaged with the populace and stuff like that with a response, but people are blowing the fuck up for that filter being put in, because I mean, there's what was it? I think there was like the different domain names are completely blacklisted now. So even if you were to upload something, if it even had a remote tag to certain websites or to certain outlets, it would get blacklisted. You wouldn't be able to post it.
Ooh.
And like one of the things on
That's
there was like
sketchy.
porn. Like what that was. I mean, I get it. There's like filters, like natural inbuilt filters for that kind of stuff, like age restrictions.
Right.
But like even on that level, to where like sexual expression, like it's blocking and blacklisting certain things as long as it's attached to a certain pin or like a tag word, it's been around for a while, that technology. I mean, there's going to be a filter for most shit, but because they don't want you.
Well, it's the
posting.
same thing like YouTube right now. YouTube's in that big whole thing right now where
Dude, the
they're basically going through
demonetization.
another whole apocalypse. Like the whole algorithm behind it is all fucked up.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Well, I finally got what you said that other day about the ads and stuff, because you normally I listen song by song, so I just look up specific things. I get maybe an ad at the beginning. There's always an ad at the end, but I jumped onto
now you get two ads.
Well, I jumped onto a rhythm playlist, which is like a dubstep genre, and really heavy fucking bass, but it was like a 55-minute long playlist of just one solid track.
Right.
And there was at least 15 ads.
Oh yeah. They
At
monetize
least
the fuck
15.
out of
And
those
it was
things.
crazy. It was like every other song, which are like
Or like
two
when you
and a half minutes
when
long.
you talk with some, or you don't even tell somebody about like something you were thinking about or talking about,
and then the ads
and a
pop up.
fucking ad pops up. Yo,
That's
that
wild.
one freaks me out.
Yeah.
Like where you'll be talking, like we'll be talking about, like I don't know.
I really want a new
microphones.
fishing rod.
Yeah, a new fishing rod. Now
Yeah.
watch next week. You're gonna come
gonna
back on the
have-
show,
yeah.
and there's gonna be a fucking ad for a fishing rod on your goddamn phone.
Yeah.
That's fucking weird.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
It's pretty intense shit. But
That's
yeah,
weird.
that was the conspiracy that I'd read up on, was that they're basically like, before they had really publicized and like Facebook getting caught with all that stuff, before all the court dates and everything like that, or the hearings, that it was just super steady, that they were just gradually knocking out more and more of that perspective
Right.
of the political standing.
Yeah, I mean they're
to
playing
push
a
certain
filter,
perspective, yeah.
which is what they should not be doing.
No.
Facebook.
free space.
Who was I listening to? I was listening to somebody recently, and they were talking about how Facebook is at a point now where it needs to decide: are you a free platform or a freedom of speech platform that is strictly a social media or a social outlet,
Yeah.
or are you a news outlet?
Yeah.
Like, what are you now? Because if the second you start filtering things, you're no longer playing a non-biased role.
Yeah, no.
So can you now be held accountable, in a role where
For
you're
influence
filtering
and-
what gets seen on and
Yeah.
off Facebook? Are you now held responsible for anything that does get seen?
Yeah. And
You know what I mean?
It's pretty
So
crazy,
I
man.
mean, it's weird. Like, can
That
you
is
get
weird,
like,
actually.
like the thing is, if they start now that they're filtering, right? So they're filtering, they're deciding the content that gets seen, right? So now by doing that, you're basically saying, as a company, you're saying that, hey, we're filtering this because we don't think it should be seen by people. Now you have to do that with everything and every user.
Yeah.
So if somebody posts something that is slandering,
Mm-hmm.
basically, can the person that's being slandered sue Facebook?
Yeah.
See, that's really interesting to think about, actually.
So they kind of fuck themselves by filtering.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because you're now saying that we're a censored website, we decide what gets seen and what doesn't get seen. You now put liability on yourself, basically,
Yeah.
to say that.
Because I mean, it's never a bad idea to have guidelines, because you don't want people posting like really fucked up, nasty shit, because people will end up doing that regardless
Right.
of what the fuck they believe. But like once you begin that filtering process to where you're picking out individuals and blocking or shutting down their fucking their sites and stuff for things that you don't like as a company or that you don't want as an image underneath your site, then it becomes a huge fucking process, like you had said, of just you were not a free outlet now.
No, you're not. You're controlling. You're controlling the. What do you call that? I can't think of what
Like
word I'm
flow
looking
of
for.
information.
Yeah,
or
you're
like-
controlling the information that's being seen. So now it's just that's a weird rabbit hole that you send yourself down when you
Dude.
start doing stuff like that. And
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe nothing ever happens from it, but it's weird.
Well, I feel like at that point you're kind of obstructing the First Amendment through Facebook as well, because
Well, that's
you're
another
only
big
allowed to
issue
talk
too,
about certain
yeah.
things at that point. So I feel like that's kind of, I don't know, that's a pretty tricky situation.
I mean, the
That's what
freedom,
it
of the
is.
whole First Amendment thing right now is kind of fucked, anyways. Because I mean, just in life, it's like
Yeah.
even comedians have to be. When comedians have to start filtering themselves, that's when we're fucked. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
when-
sorry.
when the
I know
social
there's certain
standard
things
is
like
push them to
yeah.
fucking.
I'm not saying like I'm against
Oh, like
certain
like
filtering.
political
Yeah.
correctness. and
Yeah.
such,
Yeah, I'm not saying that, but
No.
I do think it's gone way too far, and it's like
Yeah.
I'm just like comedy's gonna die if we keep doing this
I
shit.
fucking hope not, man.
I fucking need you more than ever.
Oh man. But I definitely, because that growing up, man, like I wouldn't say I was edgy, but like
I
Like,
would.
dark comedy has always rattled my fucking tree,
Yeah.
And that was something I love and still love to that day, is like super dry, super fucking nasty, gross comedy about issues and topics that
Right.
are fucked up shit, like stuff that you have to deal with on a regular basis. You
Yeah.
want to hear somebody else be like, yeah, fuck taxes.
Well,
But
fuck taxes or
fuck
Texas?
taxes.
Both.
Taxes.
Fuck you, Texas.
Fuck Taxes.
Hey man, Texas ain't that bad.
Hey man,
Texas?
fuck
Yeah,
Texas.
you can get some good property cheap in Texas.
That's true. That's true.
Who was it? So it got me thinking about the Texas, because I don't know why I just correlated Alabama to Texas, but Alabama
Bama.
kind of countered their previous run
Did
of
they,
stupid
though?
fucking shit. Well, in my personal perspective,
All right, what'd
so
they do?
they just passed that chemical castration for pedophiles
Yeah.
and sexual
Ooh,
deviants.
yeah. Which is fine.
That's
That's
interesting.
good.
But-
we should probably kill him, but that's fine. But
It
also,
needs to be thoroughly fucking planned out, because there's been multiple occasions, like even death row inmates, where it's like it's seconds away from fucking going down, dude. He's in the table, strapped up, ready for that IV, and the judge
Proven
calls
wrong,
last second,
yeah.
and he's like, "Okay, stay of execution. We have more information." Da da da. You can't go back on a chemical castration.
Right.
Some fucking guy that's been wrongfully accused.
yeah, you got to really prove that
Yeah.
shit.
And I don't have a lot of faith in Alabama right now. But
Alabama needs to just get glassed over.
We
I'll
talked
say it.
about
I'll
this,
say
dude.
it. I'll
Yeah.
fucking say it. They need to just get glassed over,
Yeah.
turned into a giant parking lot for all the surrounding states.
dude, a little tourist stop.
Sorry, Alabama, we don't
And we'll
need
leave
you.
like one McDonald's sign just in the middle of the parking lot.
Ooh, there you go.
With like a timestamp.
But there's no McDonald's.
I know.
It's just the sign.
You drive
Just a
into
pole.
McDonald's. You drive into Alabama, and like it's like, "Welcome to Alabama, brought to you by McDonald's."
Brought to you by
exactly.
McDonald's.
But
Oh,
God, I love it.
yeah, it's crazy, dude. Like,
Well, sorry,
Fucking-
going back to what we were talking about before. Like, what was the? You were making some point there right before we got into Alabama.
Oh, shit.
but what exactly?
I forgot.
So full rollback.
The fuck were we talking about?
we were talking about the filter system for Facebook.
Oh,
and all the
yeah.
social
No,
media
it was
outlets,
right
and
in
then-
between those two things.
This is what happens every
I know.
fucking week,
It's all right,
guys.
we'll skip
Every
it.
fucking week.
It'll come
folks.
back and I'll
Yeah,
scream it out.
Jesus.
I remember.
Hold on, wait.
Hold on, Kelly.
Hold on, Kelly.
Oh, shit.
No, it's okay though.
Have you guys ever heard of Bohemian Grove?
Oh God, yeah.
Oh,
I've done a lot.
You
of
don't know
things like that.
Bohemian
Yeah,
Grove,
I'll
Drake?
tell you.
No, tell me about
Oh shit! So Bohemian Grove
Yes.
in California is this super secretive campsite, I guess you would call it, camping place
Okay.
in the
Check out this
forest. And
That's a giant owl statue
yeah.
right there.
And it's a lot of like political heads and very, very high up people in the world and very rich people
Yeah.
that go there and do these like secret campouts. But it's some culty ass shit.
That looks fucking crazy.
They like
Oh,
burn an effigy of an owl It's fucking weird, dude.
It'd be kind of tight.
That's what
honestly.
Alex Jones. You'll
Yeah.
see. There's a documentary on it of somebody that snuck in and like caught video. Alex Jones is that guy. That's where he got his big kind of.
Oh, is that right? Is that how he got started?
It was
Shit.
Bohemian Grove. Like he.
Interesting.
He was like calling people. I mean, George Bush has good. The Bushes have gone to this thing.
Clintons
The
were in
Clintons
it.
have gone.
Yeah.
Like a lot of high end people go to this thing, and it's super secret. Like you're not allowed in unless you're like
No.
an elitist. Basically, it's fucking weird.
That kind of sucks, man. Because I'd love to just walk that premise.
Yeah.
'Cause that
Yeah,
owl
I'm
statue
sure.
looks fucking
You
amazing.
find a bunch of fucking.
I think it's terrifying, man. I
Dead
wouldn't fuck with
bodies.
that thing.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you walk like a
I love
certain
stuff like
distance.
that, though.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah.
I love
That's a
like
cult.
creepy shit like this.
That's
a
all right,
cult.
man.
But
we got
thing
the
is,
glass
it can
house
be
by
culty.
us.
That doesn't mean
man.
that
Been there
I'm a
couple
part of this
times.
cult.
Alright,
It
let
means
me
that I'm
tell you-
interested
let me
in
ask you,
the superstition behind it.
You're
you know?
guaranteed.
No, God, no.
You're guaranteed into the elitist group.
Yeah.
Do you do it?
Oh fuck yeah.
Ooh, I don't
Why
know,
the
man.
fuck
I don't
not?
know.
Because
'Cause I don't feel like getting possessed by this giant
Yeah, but
owl
fucking-
statue.
I'm all about it.
I'm just saying that. Like,
If you guys get a chance, look up pictures of Bohemia Grove, and like
Yeah,
the
look it
first
up.
things
It's
that
an
you
owl. It's
see
the
is
giant
this
effigy of the
giant
owl.
bonfire around this giant. It looks like a limestone carving of like a giant owl.
yeah. And they say it's just like, oh, it's just a way for
No, fuck
It's
that.
a summer
for
camp.
us to get. Yeah, they basically treat it like that, but it's not. I mean, it's fucking weird. They do.
Yeah.
It's just super weird. There's pictures of like the groups of people there, like from way back when.
That's what we were
on the
looking
at the tables and stuff.
Yeah.
But there's some fucked up shit going on there. I know it.
Yeah.
Like there's come on,
Blood orgies.
something. Somebody's dying there.
Sign me the fuck up.
I mean,
I am
this
fucking
isn't some
in.
sort of like workplace team building camp
No.
out. This is like a freaking.
This is
like,
the
I mean,
world's.
just the pictures
This
that
is
we
the
see.
dressing
world's
in
most
robes and, like,
or not
doing-
the world, but this is the country's most important people there.
And these guys are all dressed in robes and doing stupid
Yeah.
rituals and
Maybe
like
they're just all LARPers and they have the perspective wrong.
God.
Just a really fucking
right.
nerdy ones.
Just a
from
bunch
the
of
higher
fucking
ups.
nerds. It's like the world's biggest game of D&D.
I have always wanted
Maybe
to
it's
go.
the-
It sounds super fucked up, but I've always wanted to go LARPing, like the weekend or like a week long LARPing excursion, where like you
do it.
camp out and shit, and like I think that'd be kind of dope, man. Just to experience once.
All right.
Come with a
Give it a
character,
shot, man.
Like
And
D&D.
Record it and we'll
You-
post it on the
you
site.
Yeah,
you do
GoPro
you,
that whole
boo.
fucking thing, man.
You do you, boo.
Just go beat the shit out of people.
Right, just bring like an actual club with you.
Oh yeah. They're just like, let's fight in this clearing. Just beat the fuck out of it.
Oh god, my legs.
Give me your gold.
It's so weird to me that you're so outgoing and not an introvert, because literally your entire personality just is the exact opposite.
I kind of feel like I'm the
I'm
same way though.
I'm a
I mean,
fucking
like,
loser, dude.
Yeah.
I'm just a
You're not a
happy
loser.
loser.
You're just a nerd.
I'm a narcissistic loser. I like the sound of my
Yeah,
own
it's weird.
voice.
You're such a weird combination of a human. It's so funny to me. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying
No,
it's
no,
such a
not at all.
weird combination of a human.
Cool, man. I'll take it.
I do dig that shirt though. That's
Oh, the
a
Hawaiian
nice,
shirt,
that's
dude.
a
I had
nice
to wear
fucking
some.
shirt.
I had to wear some for number 10, man.
I know. I was gonna wear my. I should have worn my Hawaiian shirt today. God damn it,
Walker, you got a
Walker.
Hawaiian
I
shirt?
know you got a Hawaiian shirt. You're a
I
dad.
don't actually.
How
we
you're a
gotta get you
fucking
one.
dad
Yeah,
and
but
you
I'm
don't
a-
have a Hawaiian shirt?
But I'm a cool dad, so
Every cool dad has a Hawaiian shirt. That's how we
Pretty
are.
cool shoes,
Ah, maybe-
man.
I love my boots. I always wear boots. But
So I guess I know what we're getting Walker.
boots.
No, we're getting him a fucking.
Boots.
We're getting boots.
Boots.
We're
But you
getting-
know what
Gotta put
happens
your
to
boots
newts
on.
who steal boots?
Newts who steal boots.
They get poots.
They get the
Ooh.
boots.
You poot on newts that steal boots.
Where did this conversation go?
Speaking of anything else,
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
sorry.
so you know something I really want to talk about right now
Yeah.
that I just remembered from actually my uncle's funeral from a long time ago.
Lay it on me.
He was a Freemason.
Oh. Okay, go on. I can add to this. I bet. Go on.
We weren't allowed to like record what happened at his funeral because these Freemasons were like, "Hey, don't record this shit because
Right.
we'll freak the fuck out." They did like some weird funeral ritual stuff for my uncle, and it was like indescribable. They were wearing like funny fucking robes and hats and
Yeah.
saying these weird like Latin words and shit to each other and like doing like a weird dance, and it was the creepiest but
That's
like
fucking
strangest
weird.
thing for my uncle. I don't know. It blew me away that this was like actually happening. My jaw was on the floor the entire time seeing this thing go down.
I
It's
went
definitely
to-
got to be an experience.
I
It was
went
just
to-
like, what is going on?
Seeing
Like,
a
this
little
this can't
window
be
into
real.
like what could potentially be like a backing, like the natural.
Yeah, well,
like,
there's
foundation,
that. But I
you
mean, as I was there, I was like, what are you doing?
I went to a funeral once, and the guy was a Freemason. Right? He was a Freemason that died, and these two gentlemen with their weird fucking Freemason-y suits on. They were weird colored suits, kind of. Not weird colored, but just not. They were vibrant colored for a funeral.
Right.
They were like not a navy blue, a little bit brighter than that almost.
Right.
And they had their pins, and they had their weird little hats on. They came in, sat down at the funeral, and like halfway through, not even a quarter of the way through the proceedings or whatever, they just stood up, didn't say anything, and walked out. I was like, did they just sit here to confirm that he's fucking dead? Or what? Because it
That
seems
is
like
kinda
they
weird.
sat here to confirm that he was dead.
Yeah. It wasn't like a faked fucking.
That's fucking weird. Freemasons.
God.
He just peeks his head up. They
See little
leave.
eyes.
All right, let me tell you some shit about the Freemasons. Yeah, like that was weird to me. I was like, does nobody else fucking see what's going on right now? Like, is this normal? This is not normal. What just happened?
that
here?
is
They
pretty
just
wild.
stood up in the middle of the pastor talking. They stood up and walked out. That's
God,
weird.
That makes you think, like, what kind of
fucking
historical
society is that?
Yeah, what kind of historical like rituals and traditions do they have that pass down?
I want to join it just to see.
But like the thing is, nobody knows anything about the Freemasons. Like, name one thing.
But
about
you
the
always,
Freemasons.
every city has a Masonic. Like,
yeah, we have one in
center.
Beloit. It's like right up
Yeah.
the road. It's right
Yeah.
up the hill over there.
It's got the Masonic.
Well, I was gonna say that right there. What is it in the back of that old bar?
Yeah, over by. It's like right up the road from the church and stuff.
Yeah, like it's got that huge fucking symbol carved into the brickwork.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like that's what you,
They always do.
everywhere.
It's fucking weird.
It's awesome.
Like I don't even know how you fucking. Would you just walk in? Hey, I want
sure it's
to
a
be
lineage
a
thing.
Freemasoner.
I don't think so because like
No,
nobody.
yeah,
I don't know,
because
nobody else in my family was a Freemason.
Same here. Nobody in the
so-
family that I went to the funeral
I wonder if
for.
there's prerequisites.
Like what?
I'm looking it
Can
up
you do
right
a
now.
really
actually.
good rain dance?
Yeah, Jamie, look up how to join the Freemasons.
I don't think I want this in my search results.
No, I think that's
Incognito mode, son.
How
Inco-
to?
I hate the
Wow.
idea of incognito mode.
The
It's
first-
such a bullshit fucking filter. Just delete your search history like a goddamn man.
The first thing that I typed how to join, and the first thing that showed up was Freemasons.
Oh, that's
You know why it popped up? Because it's fucking listening to us. I'm telling you.
When you're
Dance
ready to
for
join,
me.
ask for somebody who's already a Freemason if you could petition for membership.
Oh, so you need a sponsor.
Wow, there's a fucking wiki how as to how to join.
Oh,
the
Ricky.
So you have to be.
It's got goddamn like
So
amazing.
it's like a rifle club
it's
or
got
like a gun club.
infographics and
Yeah.
everything. Are you kidding me? Have high
That's
morals.
hilarious.
High morals, my ass.
Believe in a supreme being.
See,
What's the being?
there it
though?
is.
Ooh, let's see here.
Is it Cthulhu? Because
it's-
I'll join if it's Cthulhu.
it's Cthulhu.
There are a few jurisdictions that don't have to require a member to believe in a deity. Oh, so you can.
It's got to be all men, right?
So you
I
have
think
to
so.
you have to just believe in something.
I've never heard of a woman
'Cause
Freemason. It's all men.
Have,
right?
oh, it
Yeah.
says have an educated understanding of Freemasonry, but there's
How do you have an
yeah, I
educated?
don't fucking.
Yo, it's weird. You know
That
what's
is really
another
weird.
weird
You gotta
one?
petition-
The what is that? Skull and Bones Society.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
the one that the Bushes were notorious for being a part of.
that's a weird one.
Yeah,
Wasn't that just like a fraternity?
It's like a fraternity,
It's a fraternity,
but for like
but it's
really
like
old
a-
men that have been in it for fucking ever.
It's weird. It's a weird fraternity.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting.
kind of up there with the Freemasons a little bit
Yeah.
almost. It's weird.
So there's a
Skull and
list of
Bones
presidents.
Society.
So it was Howard Taft, George W. Bush, George W.H. Bush, and then a couple other people like Alfonso Taft, who I think is related to Howard Taft, and a few
Good
other
old
people
Howie
like that.
Taft.
But
And they're all Freemasons.
no, they're all part of the Skull and Bones. So it was a
Oh,
secret
Skull and
society from Yale, I think it was.
Yeah, yeah.
Doesn't really say too much about them. 'Cause
You
I
ever
think it was
watched
just
the
like a
movie?
stupid club. No, I haven't.
Oh, you guys gotta watch the movie. I think it's
So
from
I-
like the '90s.
Okay.
It's called Skull and Bones Society. I think it's called that. It's a fucking weird movie, but it's
I
really
prefer
good.
the Dead Poets Society.
I mean, that was a good one too. Don't
It's
get me
fucking
wrong.
awesome. And okay, so I just found a band recently, kind of off topic.
Called
but
the Dead Poets
the
Society.
Dead Poets Society.
Yeah.
Nasty as fuck, dude.
They played
I
at our
love
high
it.
school when we went there.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No fucking way,
Yeah,
dude.
they played at our high school when we went there. That's the only reason I even know the name of the band.
Well, the first thing I think of is fucking the movie with.
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams.
Well, yeah, Robin Williams. I was trying to think of the like the kid.
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
Oh yeah.
Captain, my captain. Oh my god! Now you guys are both on your phones, so here I stand while
No,
we're
I'm not-
recording a podcast.
I'm just looking up information about the Skull and Bones fraternity here because this is interesting.
All I'm saying is there's a
Uh,
couple different groups out there
yeah.
of people.
There's some weird shit going
That's
on with
just
these
some
groups.
weird shit.
99% of the time, I'm pretty sure these groups are just like fucking weird fraternities that are just like, hey, let's go get drunk and
Yeah.
make it seem like we're doing something
I
important.
saw a
Put some
fucking.
robes on.
I
and
saw a
touch each
T-shirt.
other's butts.
I saw a T-shirt the other day on Facebook, and it said, "I had a killer time at the Jim Jones festival."
Oh God! Oh no!
It was like the Jim Jones punch parade or punch festival or something like that. I don't know. It was fucking hilarious though.
I'm pretty sure, like, this might be inappropriate, but I'm 90% sure after doing research on the Skull and Bones group, they're just in here touching dicks. Because
Oh, really?
they are called the Bonesmen, and
Stop
yeah,
it.
that's
They
what they call
made a
themselves.
joke about that in
Oh,
fucking
my God.
Family Guy.
Did they really?
Yeah, because what's his Hubert?
They've got to just
Oh,
be in there sword
The
fighting.
pervert.
Yeah, Herbert.
Herbert the
Herbert.
pervert. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah,
They
that
literally
guy.
make a joke about him, like
Don't
calling
say,
in.
don't do that too much. Copyright strike.
Lois's
Can you
dad is a
copyright a
part of
voice?
it. And like, nah, you get in the closet.
Oh shit.
Oh my
Get
God!
your ass in there. I'm getting tired of your shit.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just gonna call these guys. I
Bonesmen.
don't know.
The
Bones-
boners.
The boners.
boners.
Yeah, these guys are the boners.
Hey, you guys want to join my fraternity? What's it called? The Boners.
The
I'm
Bonesmen.
interested. Explain,
Please, go on.
please. Continue.
Do we have any more conspiracies?
I did mine too.
I've got one more.
Yeah. What do you got?
Okay, so this is the one I've been like super stoked about talking
All
about.
right, let's hear it.
So this leans back on the technology thing. Robo sharks. Yes.
What?
Robo sharks. So there's actual documentation of there being sharks with reconnected GPS coordinates starting from.
Sorry.
I know it's really hard to read this.
Keep going.
But okay, so I'll just tell the story of it.
Please do. it.
So there was 2 shark attacks off the beach in Egypt. Like
Okay.
there was some public beach, and so the tourist attraction that was basically that swimming area plummeted. And this was like back in 2010, and as time had progressed and people started to go back into that area, they started to notice these sharks that were swimming way out of sequence, like for natural like patterns for that species of shark in that area. And it turns out after it was like 4 or 5 different occasions where divers were literally finding these sharks just congregating in these areas. They were finding electronic equipment that were strapped to these sharks. And by pinging back on these GPS units, they were seeing that it started in Israel
And they moved them over.
and they moved all the way over
Are you
to
seriously
Egypt.
talking about spy sharks right now?
Spy sharks. Fucking spy sharks, dude. No joke.
I love this.
How did we
It-
get here?
Do they have laser beams?
No, they don't have laser
Just
beams.
want some sharks with some freaking
Freaking
laser,
laser
beams.
beams.
Freaking lasers. but yeah, it was literally they crossed over the Red Sea and they were outfitted with GPS units and what was it? There was
For what purpose?
I don't know. I have no fucking idea. But there was more than a few of them and
Who's the asshole military commander that goes, "Listen, guys,
This is
we've
what
been
we're
fighting
gonna
this
do."
war with guns. It's not really working for us. The U.S. is kicking our ass. But I've got an idea.
yeah.
What if we just train a bunch of sharks to go over there and start eating people?
Yeah. And you know what the counter was? Because initially Egypt was like one
Do
of
they
those
have cameras?
well no, it's just GPS units.
So they're
and stuff.
literally just making them
Mapping.
swim over here.
I think they're mapping.
Mapping the
Yeah.
coastline.
But at least that's from reading it. That's what I'd gotten from it. For a tactical standpoint, I guess if you're sending spy sharks over,
There's things called a map.
I
you
know,
fucking idiots.
I know.
Just open up Google.
But so initially, the public reaction to it was like, "Ah, fuck you guys! Like, you're full of shit." Da, 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 da. And the conspiracy came into it because the Egyptian government actually started to believe and participate in researching, and that's where they started to like really hunker down and start finding these sharks with the GPS units, and they were pulling these sharks. So they were going off the coastline and dumping sheep carcasses into the water to draw these sharks up and like capturing them and like going in and taking the GPS units out and stuff. And like that's how they found out that they were coming from Israel and like swimming across the fucking Red Sea.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
How did you even find this?
It was literally I was just like scrolling through really good
Conspiracy
conspiracy theories and like boom, like this just kind of like fell into my lap and I'm really happy that I found it because it literally they have what was it? It was a public conference or not a conference but a publicity meeting, press conference. I don't know something. Where he the Egyptian government or one of the heads was addressing the populace because it started to catch wind. They're like,
Right.
oh my God, like Israel's checking us out and they're going to fucking do something. So they needed to address it really quick to keep the hoopla down.
The hoopla.
And hoopla. And yeah, he literally said like, we're not, where the representative was like, now we're not ringing this out, but we're not saying it's not happening.
not saying it's
He-
not
like,
true, but
yeah, they
it's not
couldn't.
saying
They
it
couldn't.
is.
He couldn't give a solid
my
like
God.
it's not a thing or it is a thing.
That's
to the
crazy.
public. And
Technology's crazy, man.
it's
I say it every
hilarious.
episode. Technology's crazy.
The first thing I thought of was fucking Inspired Shag Me.
Yeah, yeah.
Can't remember his name.
Austin Powers.
Austin Powers. Yeah.
Sharks with freaking laser
Freaking
beams.
lasers.
Freaking laser
Speaking
beams.
of technology,
Yes.
you know what my favorite piece of technology is?
What?
Little app, little skill called TalkTour.
Oh.
Oh, Walker. What's TalkTour?
TalkTour is a personal healthcare assistant which allows you to book appointments through Amazon Alexa with your favorite healthcare providers. Tell your providers to join the day.
Yeah, do it. Yeah. If that wasn't the smoothest fucking
That was a
segue,
really good transition.
God damn it, I'm good at this. I should just do this full time. Oh wait,
Just run
I'm
ads.
trying.
So I wasn't expecting the plug here, but I do want to talk about one thing that I haven't heard of in a long time, and I
Please
don't
do.
know what happened. What the fuck happened to bath salts?
Oh yeah,
Remember
it
that whole
just was
thing?
here
Yeah,
and then
what
was
the
gone.
fuck? Yeah, because
It was just a cover up.
in like a matter of months. Like there was a huge fucking thing. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
Cover up.
don't do bath salts. Like they're not supposed to be out there in the world. Blah blah
Eat your
blah.
face.
People are eating people's flesh and like having
Yeah.
like giant super soldier anger
Strength,
fits.
yeah.
Yeah. And then
It's
all
like
of a sudden
basically
it just disappeared.
PCP.
What that happened in what like
I'd rather
2011,
do
2012?
PCP. Fuck.
Like, everybody was gearing up for like the zombie apocalypse for like, a
Yeah.
few months there, and then all of a sudden, what happened to bath salts?
It was a complete.
Well, what was
fucking,
bath salts covering up?
Yeah. It's like it was like Ebola.
Yeah, what was Ebola covering up?
Or what-
Probably
It
Robo
was a
sharks.
really hectic 2 months of
Or-
those 3 people having Ebola, which 2 of them were cured by the time they came back to the States. But we're
Or
whatever.
what if just like the heroin epidemic from a long time ago,
Mm-hmm.
the government released
Bath salts?
out in the communities to see how people react to
well,
it.
heroin's still a fucking huge epidemic.
It is, but do you know how it started though? Back in the day, it was a government released
Oh, yeah.
situation,
Oh, yeah.
and then
Whoops.
they used it to collapse black communities.
Well, that's what
and
they say about
minority
AIDS too.
communities.
They say that the government
Yeah.
created AIDS to collapse the black community.
But the black community thing was actually confirmed by by interviews with like the president at the time and also a lot of his staff. They were saying
Wow.
like, yeah, we could basically collapse this
That's really
community
fucked up.
whenever we want.
Yeah.
So
fucking
I mean,
crazy.
when
it's
you,
fucked
when you,
up.
when you
It's
target
really
and
fucked up.
isolate
I thought that was
a
crack.
specific
That was
community-
heroin. I thought it was crack.
Pretty sure that was heroin, but let me double check that.
Because I know crack's like huge.
Well, the number one worst addict and epidemic heroin state is Russia right now. Has the highest rate of addicts.
Russia's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Russia, they're not even dying.
well, yeah, they came
probably
up
don't
with
even
they
die
came
from
up with
it.
fucking crocodile. Like that is fucking
yeah,
ridiculous.
that weird fucking drug that just eats
Injecting
your flesh.
gasoline into
Yeah,
your
here, let me
fucking
just
body.
inject this and then it eats my flesh. But apparently,
Yeah.
I get high off it. No, you
Apparently.
no, you don't.
I'd rather make shake.
You were
than
right.
Fucking inject that.
It was crack. By
Was
the
it
way.
crack?
Was it
Yeah,
crack?
that's what I
Yeah,
thought. It was
crack
crack
cocaine.
that
Yeah.
did that, not heroin.
But heroin, yeah, that had a huge
Heroin.
fucking epidemic back
Heroin.
in the 50s and 60s as well.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, it's constant
heroin's
fluctuations,
an
man.
Because when I
Opioid,
think
isn't it?
Yeah,
when I
it's
think
opioid.
heroin, I think like the hippie era.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know
So
what I
it
mean?
was a crack epidemic
Yeah.
then. But
'Cause
regardless,
crack was like the 80s, right?
yeah, crack was the 80s.
80s?
so-
Crack was the 80s because they caught up after opium was when heroin came out.
Yeah, it's just weird. Shit's
Yeah,
weird.
fuck.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy, man. But that's the world that we live in. That stuff like that can just be introduced to control a certain.
Yeah.
Well, and here's the
populace.
thing. Here's the thing that
Certain
I don't
demographic.
think people understand about it either is like somebody had to create cocaine.
Yeah.
Somebody created that, right? One
Well, I
person
think-
is not going out selling cocaine to another person and then it becoming this massive,
No.
huge epidemic. It's being released to the masses,
Yeah.
just like crack. I mean, crack is the cheaper. Crack is a cheap alternative, not alternative. Crack is cheap to make. I believe from cocaine. Yeah, I think cocaine makes. You have to have cocaine to make crack.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
crack is cocaine.
Right.
It's crack cocaine.
So I don't. I'm just wondering, like, pure powdered cocaine costs more than crack cocaine, and that's why it became so huge, right?
I believe
Am
so.
I
I'm
right
pretty
there?
sure
think
crack
so.
cocaine is cut with something else, right?
Yeah,
Is that-
crack's like cut with some weird shit, but for
fentanyl,
some reason
though.
it's cheaper to make crack cocaine.
Well, I'm sure because
than it
it's
is to
just a
make regular
byproduct. Because
cocaine.
I'm assuming that you'd be able to make a larger batch from a smaller amount of pure.
But what guy is sitting out there going, I have all this cocaine. What can I make?
A lot.
What can,
A lot of people.
what can I make to like make this cheaper and more addictive? No, it wasn't
Yeah.
some
Well,
guy.
'cause I mean,
in
that's,
the
that's,
fucking
that's what it is for
government.
dealers,
The
man.
reason that crack is cheaper is because they actually boil it down with water and baking soda, and then they boil it, and then they can crack it up into smaller pieces. Hence why they call it crack.
Makes sense.
Meaning that they can have a higher volume of cocaine out there.
But what chemist is figuring that shit out? You have to release that to the masses. Not
Well,
it's,
it's
not
all-
a
yeah, but-
single individual person that's
But
going.
I mean, baking soda's not gonna. It's just like basically an additive just to add more volume to
Yeah.
it. So
It's just weird. It's just
baking
a-
soda's
cutting.
sodium bicarbonate or something.
Yeah.
Not that we're telling people how to make crack cocaine
No.
on this fucking podcast.
No, but it's
or
just like
anything.
it's
Make sure it's not the other
we're
baking
reaching
alternative.
we're reaching disclaimer territory
Otherwise, you're
there,
gonna have
folks.
muffins growing out your nose.
I mean, I'm-
Muffins.
I'm just looking at articles here from like the CDC and stuff about what the difference is and such.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I'm just saying, like you can't just have a single person that makes that catch on to become the world's worst epidemic.
Well, that
it's
kinda-
got to be released to the masses by an agency.
yeah.
Well, me talking about the CDC, that kind of brings us full circle because you remember back when the bath salt stuff was going down, they released some like what do you do in a zombie apocalypse situation?
Oh
video.
yeah, the CDC
Yeah. Do
did.
you
remember
yeah,
that?
Yeah.
Which I think
and they
is
said it
kinda
was
crazy.
a joke, and I'm like,
Yeah, but
yeah,
like,
but we're kind of in that time where
you
we're
just,
all worried
you
about
just
that.
released this like a week after.
And you're the CDC, you're a government-operated company.
You don't make jokes.
No,
Yeah.
you don't get
What the
to make
fuck is
jokes.
wrong with
You're
you?
not
Yeah.
paid to make jokes. Fuck your PR guy.
Do shit
And-
like that, or like the Hawaiian. You remember the Hawaii incident?
Yeah.
What
The
was
fucking
Hawaii
fake
incident?
bomb, the fake
Oh, the
attack.
missile situation.
The missiles.
I remember a
What
certain
the fuck
CEO.
was
I
that?
won't reveal his name, but he was actually in Hawaii when that happened. I'll tell you.
You don't just release that.
Well, he's got like PTSD from this now because he was freaking out over there in Hawaii about.
I can
this thing,
imagine.
and
Like,
then
you don't just
he found out it
fucking-
wasn't real, and then
Yeah.
he still has like nightmares about like
If
wow,
a
That
missile were to
experience,
attack.
yeah.
Yeah,
But,
and they were like, oh, sorry, that was the wrong button got pressed. What?
The wrong button.
They were saying some
You
stupid
have
shit
a
like
button
that.
for
I
that?
don't know if I.
Just
They were saying
a
it was.
panic
They were
button.
saying it was They said it was a malfunction in the system. I was like, bull
malfunction in the
fucking
system.
shit. That was a malfunction in the system.
Yeah.
Something was going on.
Yeah.
Something was fucking going on. And I don't
Or it's a
know
fear
if somebody
tactic.
tried to throw a bomb at us or a missile at us, and we shot it down with the old Star Wars
Ka-chow.
project that
Oh yeah, I
has
forgot about
not
that, like the
been
anti-missile
confirmed,
project
but is
from
confirmed.
that was Reagan, wasn't it? That
Yeah, the
started
Reagan
up?
era, I think. Yeah.
pretty-
So-
It's actually
Cool
kind of a
technology,
badass
man.
idea. Just like, yeah, we have this laser guided like anti-missile.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the craziest thing, and I think we talked about this in a prior episode.
Yeah.
Is like nuclear attacks are pretty much like old school at this point.
Yeah.
It's all about the rods from God, or rods of God.
Yeah.
You know what those are?
Rods of
Dude.
God.
The rods of God.
There's another name
Dude,
for it, but
they're
Javelins.
highly yeah, the
Javelins,
javelins
yeah.
like systems. They are highly more
Oh,
devastating.
wow.
The
Highly
kinetic-
more
kinetic,
devastating.
Kinetic bombardment.
Yeah.
yeah. It's highly more devastating than
Yeah, dude.
than nuclear
Are
bombs.
these like real or
That's
these
real.
Just, like,
I mean, they're real.
yeah.
There's the project is
Are
real.
these concept things or are these?
I mean, it's supposedly a concept, but conspiracy theory wise, it's a real thing that can just decimate fucking cities. So I'm just saying,
That's a little crazy.
yeah, it's fucking
Yeah,
nuts.
crazy
You got a
is a
phone
word.
call?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, take it, man.
All right.
That's all right. We'll
Be right back,
finish.
guys.
We'll
You
finish
guys go
this
ahead.
up here.
yeah.
No problem. We're here. Oh shit.
Oh, shit.
Walker's just breaking
that's
everything as he
No,
walks out of the
no,
fucking
nothing, bro.
room. Way
Didn't
to
even
go.
happen.
Way to go.
All right,
shit.
but yeah. So that was the last of my my
That was your last one?
conspiracies.
Yeah, I don't have any more either.
But yeah, no, it's always fun talking about stuff like that just because it makes you think. Like you should always be thinking about stuff like that. Not
Yeah,
enough
I mean, you
to
should
worry
always-
yourself,
yeah.
but like,
Yeah, I'm not saying become like engulfed in it, but definitely
you should
think for
keep
yourself.
your eyes open. Yeah.
think for yourself. If you got some crazy idea that you think it's like, oh shit, maybe that
Yeah.
is real. You don't
and
know.
it allows you, at the least, it allows you to build your own opinions and your own
Yeah.
perspectives on.
Even if you sound fucking
things work.
crazy, like we probably
Yeah,
did on this episode.
whatever, man.
I'm not saying we believe any of this shit. I'm just
Right.
saying this is stuff that I've heard that I'm like, whoa,
Yeah,
it's nuts.
yeah.
I
I
don't
just
know
I
about
like the
Robo
ones-
Sharks. That one I'm gonna have to look up. That's
Please,
interesting
please
as
do.
fuck.
Yeah, because it was
Robo
off
Sharks.
the coast of Egypt.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
And
it
they
was
found them in the United States too, or just in Egypt?
just in Egypt.
Just in Egypt.
It
Oh,
was
okay.
it was off the
Oh,
coast
okay,
of the
okay,
Red
okay,
Sea.
okay.
So
That makes a little
But
more
yeah,
sense, I
like, but
guess.
I just really wanted to pick a couple that were like tangible.
That were
It was
different.
like- yeah.
I've never heard most of those ones for the
Yeah.
most part. Those were very different ones. I liked them.
So
But anyways, we should probably
Yeah, we should
Call it,
probably call it at this.
Call
Congratulations again,
To Nicole, yes.
Fuck
we
yeah.
will be in touch. That was awesome. That's great.
Fuck yeah,
like I
dude.
said, we will be having another one here at some point soon as well. So keep your eye out for that. Also, another big shout out to our Patreon patrons.
Oh, yeah.
Carmen, Nicole, Sean, and Oriana. Thank
Yes,
you,
thank
all
you
of you,
very much.
and all future ones as well. Other than that, you guys have a wonderful week. Thank you for tuning in
Again.
again, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.